Empire State Building on this ledge, and if I just,
Jeff, oh my God, did he fall?
And we have got Simon, I'm recording! Oh,
So, my advice for studying this section, keep two timelines. Keep one for the opposition movements, or the liberation movements, and then one for what the government...
You should just like make epic videos of your adventures in the school building solo. Wait, what happened?
We have heat and things. Does anybody want to tell Eliana that we're in class right now?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Everyone can see those notes. All right, here. God dang it. Hold on, let me see those. All right, can everyone see these notes? Everyone can see these? So if we're looking, hold on, I got this. All right, these notes.
Which means that it's two words that we put together to make another word. Moon and light form moonlight. The next word we have is cooler bag. Cooler bag can also be a compound word, cooler and then bag.
And he was always the hero.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Vlad Zhitnikov with Cloud IT. Would you like it or not? The hybrid work is here to stay. We are not anymore 9 to 5. We are not anymore Monday to Friday. We are 24/7, wherever we are. The moment we are connected to the network, we are in. So let's try to describe what it is, the hybrid workspace, hybrid meeting space, hybrid force, and what we can do with that. So 3 years ago, it was big booze. We now all going to work from home. And it was big expectation. And then we, and that's good, believe me. And we saw during those 2.5 years, we saw even worse than that. So, work from home myth, number one, we all work from home. And performance increased. And better work-life balance, because we want to manage our time. And better service. Office spaces, no need for equipment, communication lines, and result-oriented, result-driven workforce management. And that's the reality. Only about 36% of American jobs can be done remotely, and currently we are at a scale about 23%. You cannot bring remotely to people's houses assembly line for a Ford vehicle. It's not cases. When you are in office, it takes 10 minutes if you have some issue to go to next office to your manager, fix the issue, and send back email to your customer with a solution. In most cases, performance of the home employees decreased and become disaster, and especially that's about the millennials, and especially that's about the financial and servicing industry. Ask your mortgage broker. Ask your insurance broker what's going on the back end. No work, no life, no balance. People who really work from home say, oh, we are working now much more than before. Service level dropped, as I said, in banks, insurance, and service businesses. Increased, because now you have to supply laptop, internet connect to your home users. You have to provide additional benefits. You have to insurance because they are at home, but they are at work. Your liability as employer, what they are doing at their houses. Many managers are very concerning about the control of the time and attendance and on-time delivery of the projects. So that's what we met during these 2.5 years of pandemic. And yes, there are solutions. We can help you with that, and we're going to talk today about those solutions. So 5 must to have to survive the hybrid world. Because hybrid is a key word today. It's here to stay. Hybrid workforce, hybrid workspace, hybrid meeting space. Everything is combined, and somebody in the office, somebody outside of the office will collaborate. So you have to have cloud infrastructure. It can be public, it can be private, it can be mixed. Stable network connection. Your internet connection is one of the key parameters. Cyber protection and cyber insurance. We will talk about that. We will have very good, actually 2 presentations on that, about the cyber insurance and cyber protection tools. Communication tools, phone systems, and meeting space. We have here different phone devices that you can send to your employees. And the on-premise infrastructure, those that you're sending to your employees, those laptops to Dell, from Dell, and desktops from Dell, and servers from Dell, and everything from structure in the cloud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I forgot. Trusted advisor. And we have in our group this company called Web Professional Solutions. Those guys will help you understand the right needs, consult you with the right technology to choose from, and build the entire environment that will help you maintain streamlined work and streamlined operations. So, hybrid working environment, how we can help. With the help of our vendors and our partners, we will be able to, as I said, create a solution for you, deploy it, train users, supply all the needed equipment, everything. From a smart board you see there, large screens, QNAP storage device, replace your all and out data. System, headsets, all this stuff today. I will take another couple of minutes and we'll discuss 2 more things that will not be described in separate presentations. So first, we've been talking about employee productivity. And that's one of the biggest concerns of the managers because, as we discussed, the productivity decreased. You cannot control a person at his home, what he is doing. He's at the laptop, he is writing the code, or he is working with the documents, or he's walking his dog, or went for groceries, or just taking a nap, or going to the park, and count this time as working time. So, very interesting statistics. Your employee costs you about $20,000 US a year when he is spending time browsing the internet, going to other websites, doing whatever they do except the work. So we get several requests from employers how we can control, what we can do. And we've been looking and found very interesting software, which is control and monitoring, and it's not invasive. It's compliant with all Canadian regulations. Okay? So it's compliant with all Canadian regulations. Monitoring. But we record when person logged in, when person logged into the application, what sites he visited, how much time he spent on that site, and at the end of the month, we provide statistics to the managers. And according to our experience, when managers got these statistics, even just a call to the manager and friendly discussion save money for the organization and increase productivity for the whole team. Also, one more thing I want to talk about is how the one-man enterprise can show the world he is big. It's a cloud-based phone system. We have our cell phones, we have our office number, but the office number published everywhere. And we are not in the office anymore. Or they here, they not. Who call? So, phone system in the cloud, we took your number to the cloud, and it's always with you wherever you are. And the incoming call, hello, thank you for calling 123 Enterprise. For sales, press 1. For support, press 2. For administration, press 3. All calls come to you, to your cell phone. But you looks big, you have departments. Hello, thank you for calling 123 Enterprise. For Toronto office, press 1. For Vancouver office, press 2. For Montreal office, press 3. All 3 calls come to you, but you are a national company. So we provide a service with many different additions to it. And also, you don't have to have a phone, or this phone, or cell phone. You can run it from your computer, from your laptop, which is always with you, with long, long, long list of features. Fund your digital transformation. And it's loading.
The snow and rain, and it's really starting to hurt the bones. I won't lie, right? So the time today, I know your time's very precious. we're going to have a fun time together, right? I want to be interactive, so if I ask some questions, please don't be shy, right? Really helps make the crowd engaging and allows me to have some fun too, because really if I'm talking to a wall, it's not that exciting, right? And that's what my life was like when we transitioned to work from home and the COVID world. And I can't even say the C word anymore, so I call it pandemic, right? It changed to that because now I used to do presentations like this all across the country, whether it be in Canada or in the US, and then I was restricted to a screen, right? And I had no idea whether you were hearing me, whether you were laughing at my jokes, which are not funny, that's okay, right? Or whether you were actually even paying attention, which is a true fact. Would you guys believe in that? Now trying to run your business, supporting your teams, and not knowing how to interact and so forth. So what we've done at Dell Technologies, this is now my 10th year, we've always been remote. All field leaders and above have 100% been remote. How have we done that? We've given every employee like myself the tools necessary to be active, to have trust, to be engaging, to have the tools to be able to be dynamic during those presentations. Right? Oops, it's gone, right? Trust me, they see your screen. Stop asking. It's okay. All right? It's like the same people in email etiquette that does reply to all. Stop replying to all. I don't need to know what everything else is going on. So, quick show of hands. How many of you this is the one I wanted. How many of you allow work from home today? 40, 50%. How many of you are trying from home today, don't know how? And that's okay. That's where we're here to help. Okay, good. All right. This is what we used to call our individual personas. So what I want you to walk away from today is not memorizing the presentation, is knowing that in partnership with Cloud IT, we're here to support you one-on-one. Okay, so don't feel like you have to say, oh my God, a slide today because Anthony's going to leave and I'm not going to remember everything. Our number one goal is to ensure that we can schedule a one-on-one meeting and really work with each individual company on how do we go deeper and wider. So this is what we used to call the people: on-the-go pro, corridor warrior, desk-centric warrior, and remote worker. I was kind of a hybrid between a remote worker and on-the-go pro. I unfortunately have a 50K Air Canada membership, which is not fun. I missed a lot of my daughter's soccer games, a lot of my son's karate, a lot of birthdays, right? It was hard. But now, and producer. And the reason I want you to think about these types of personas is that when we actually look at refreshes of your PC, we don't want it to be that, hey, let's take the 7430 Latitude machine and give it to every single user. Is that the right thing to do? Most likely not. And the reason for that is every has unique needs. They probably require different requirements. They probably require different screens, different setups, different weights, right? How many of the wonderful ladies have a purse, the size of your purse? There you go. Do you normally carry your laptop in there? Sometimes, maybe? Do you normally carry your laptop in there? If I give you a 16-inch screen, are you going to be excited? You're going to be like, oh my God, this thing's, I'm dying here, right? It happened to my wife. My wife, God bless her, right? She started a new job. She got a new laptop. The bag that she loves and cares about because, look, I love fashion, it's important, meant something to her. Laptop no longer fit in her bag. And I looked at it and I said, look, 15-inch screen is big. If it's USB ports and monitor connections, we can extend that screen size. So we really have to think about the employee experience. One more show of hands for this quick survey. Who's tired of constantly circling through employees? Meaning, you hire somebody and then they leave 3 to 6 months later. Is that painful to most of you? Right? I see a lot of nodding heads. Good. Because why? The cost of attracting talent, the cost of training that talent, the cost of getting them ramped up, introducing them to what you do best, and then they depart. And why are they departing? The number one reason, believe it or not, that they're departing is technology. Right? And if we look at, I'll tell you guys a funny story offline after, but I don't consider myself to be old. But I'm talking to some of the new individuals that are joining, and I'm like, wow, they just graduated. And what are they used to? Technology that's a lot sleeker, slimmer, and so forth, right? And if they're going to be looking for a place to enjoy, have that hybrid place. They're going to want to be able to have that sleek technology because that's what they used in university today. So let's jump into this. I'm not going to go through every single point today. These slides will be shared with you. What I would like to do is kind of highlight a couple. And the way that these slides build out is really, really simple. If we look at the builder, you can see first and foremost, what is that person required to do? Creates and executes strategic vision. So typically the builder, executives, right? Leaders, principals of the organization. And then you constantly see, what are they connected? They're connected via several devices. If you have who fits these profiles, let me change the slide, and which PCs and accessories can we best match to that? Pretty awesome, right? Everything for all of you so you have the best experience for every single employee in your organization. That is the key difference, right? Because it's not just about the PC, it's about everything else that they're going to be connecting to that. And I'm going to be talking about my favorite docking station right now, about the WD-22 very second, but this thing is unbelievable. So if they're going to be at home, what kind of monitor? What kind of dock? If they're going to be roaming, do they need a portable monitor because they're constantly working at a hotel room or offsite at a client? If you haven't seen the portable monitor, it's on display there. It's less than £1. Very sleek, no power required. If they're in the office, everybody requires dual screens. Dual screens require 2 power cables, two HDMI ports. Why not just go with one 40-inch curve, 1 power cable, 1 USB-C cable? All of that to maximize the workspace. When we look at the connector, right, you can now people. You look at what the role, specialist. I'm curious. Technical. Power, right? More performance. that, right? So you're 100% right. Research, data scientists, right? Engineers, etc., architects, people that are designing. And you're going to see the next one called the producer. There's a little bit of overlap, but that's okay, right? The reason for that is it really depends on how they actually can build it out. The 5470 Precision is by far my favorite PC. So Precision 5470, right, allows you to get Adobe Creative Cloud, Autodesk, everything in the palm of my hand, thinner than this machine, with the same dedicated graphics, unbelievable power. Now, can you go bigger and wider and thicker and more power? Of course you can, right? But we've designed it where it's as thin as all of our Latitude machines, right, to make it easier for you to transport, easier for you to get the work done regardless of where you are, at home, at the office, at client sites, and still have performance that you need. And people think, well, why do I need a Precision? A Precision workstation, because they're running macros on those Excel machines all the time. And if you're trying to get them to produce those reports faster, get them the power versus giving them a simple machine just because we thought they're not really going anywhere. They're not really moving around, but they need the performance to get that to happen. All right. Okay. Producer, same type of thing, right? You see some overlap there, accountants, procurement, IT manufacturers, right, etc. Same type of opportunities. And when you see human resources and finance, they're sometimes forgotten. They're the ones that are behind the closet, but they actually make a lot of the things work. Well, this is where you can now transition from a Precision workstation to actually a desktop version or an all-in-one type environment, okay? These are the beauty about these slides. All right. Every single one of our PCs and all of our collaboration combines with Teams and Zoom 100%. On some of our new machines now, where we actually come out with, and this is the one I want to show you. You'll see at the top here, these are haptic technology buttons where you can click right into Teams and Zoom right away. Okay? I just combined those two technologies into one. If they end up merging, I should get a royalty for that. All right. Who's a car fan? Anybody like BMW? No? Mercedes? Ferrari? No, but she keeps shaking her head. What do you like, my dear? No cars whatsoever? Because I see your partner beside you is a big Red Bull fan, but we're going to have to talk later. There you go. Okay. I'm going to give you the BMW version. I'm going to show you how easy it is to understand, okay? Our models of series is really simple. 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, 9,000. Good, better, best. Okay? 3,000, what do you get in a 3 Series BMW? You're getting pleather. You're not getting leather. Don't think it's leather because it's not. It's called pleather. 5,000 series, you're going to get leather, maybe it's some heated seats. 7,000 series, you're going to get leather, heated seats, and if you've never tried this, you have to, air-conditioned seats. I've driven in the middle of Texas summer weathers. You need air-conditioned seats. Okay? 9,000 series takes everything that the 7,000 series and takes it to the extreme. That's how easy it is to understand our models, okay? We take care of all of that for you with Cloud IT. Don't worry about that. Rugged. If you ever have environments with warehousing, you're in the field. Dell has rugged machines. We're the only OEM from a top 3 manufacturing standpoint that offers a full rugged portfolio. Only OEM. Precision workstations, anybody like Game of Thrones? Anybody like Spider-Man? Anybody like Sony movies? Anybody play FIFA? It's all designed out of the Vancouver, and we pay US pricing. Imagine that, all right? All of those video games are all designed on Precision workstations. All of those movies designed on Precision workstations. Have the right machine for the requirements your people need. You're going to hear me say that over and over again. Number one in monitors, if you combine the second, third, and fourth manufacturers, combine those together, that's what my market share looks like in monitors. It's the equivalent of opening up a Tim Hortons on the corner and all of the other donut shops closed down. E-Series, fixed monitor. P-Series can go up and down and horizontal. U-Series, everything that the P-Series has, but now complete infinity edge. It's beautiful, okay? You won't be disappointed. Docking stations. How many of you are Dell customers? You might win a prize. One, God bless her. Put her name on the list, okay? If you're not a Dell customer, but you're looking for a docking station and you want to transition, all of our docks, especially the Thunderbolt, works with all manufacturers, okay? The HD22Q, my favorite dock. This one here we have on display actually supports up to 2 monitors and can charge your phone wirelessly at the same time. This one's mine. I think you have an opportunity to win one. If you do, great. Future-proof. All of our Thunderbolt docks allow you to be future-ready. So if technology changes, we just swap it out, the power requirements, and you can go from USB-C to dual USB-C to Thunderbolt, etc. Pro support is the most important slide before I pass it on to my peers. Things are going to happen. You're going to rely on the managed services provided by Cloud IT because they are fantastic. We love them as a partner. They are going to help together in partnership with Dell make sure that you're protected. So when things happen, you're going to get that 24/7 support. If you need accidental damage, we can add that on where if you dropped it and it breaks, we can replace that machine one time a year. We actually have a technology built into the laptops when you go to Pro Support Plus. This is the freakiest part. It will send you an email or a phone call saying, you need to start to back everything up if you haven't done so already. And you're like, what? We're like, yeah, your hard drive is about to fail. And you're like, what do you mean? It's running right now. Everything's okay. Well, they run analytics and diagnostics constantly to make sure, and they'll say, start backing everything up. We've already engaged with Cloud IT. Your hard drive is arriving on site today or tomorrow. All right? And away you go. You swap it out. No harm, no ask. You're protected. More importantly, folks, my name's Ant Marnello. I work for Dell Technologies. Please, don't be shy. I'm with my partner, Ahmed. We're here to answer any questions. There are no bad questions, okay? Thank you so much, everyone.
Hi everyone, so my name is Khalid. I'm working with QNAP as a sales manager. Thanks for attending this event with Cloud IT. So during my presentation, at different time I'm going to be able to mention all the applications that we have inside QNAP Box. Okay? So please, if you have any questions, you can raise anytime, or maybe you can stop in my booth and we can have a discussion about QNAP products and solution for you guys. So let me just give you like an introduction about QNAP. So QNAP refers to Quality Network Compliance Provider based in Taiwan, specialized in NASs, okay? Also, we have DAS units. So in case, for example, you need, let's say, more storage for your servers, okay, you can use our direct attach unit. Also, we have surveillance solutions, digital signage, and also we have network inside as well, which comes with switches, managed or unmanaged switches. And also we have routers as well. Also QNAP, we develop applications as well inside our software that can help, especially for file sharing, virtualization, and so on. So within QNAP, so we have an office based in Markham. So please, if you have any questions or if you need like a support, you can get in touch with our office, and definitely we can give you the best customer service as possible. Usually for example, our stock is healthy, okay? If you need like your unit, you can work with the Cloud IT, and definitely we can have your solution ready within a few weeks. So QNAP, we have different units for you guys, okay? So we have solutions that comes with Thunderbolt. We have Thunderbolt 3, Thunderbolt 4 as well, so we're gonna introduce it in the next 2 months. So if you guys who have like, for example, someone is doing like video editing, picture editing, it's gonna be the best solution for him. Also, we have like units that comes with 10 gig, 2.5 gig, 100 gig, 25 gig as well. Also, we have fiber channel as well. Also, we have within QNAP OS, we have also something which is named Virtualization Station as well. So we are both like compatible with VMware and also Hyper-V, but also if you need like to run a VM on top of QNAP NAS, that's gonna be possible as well. Also, we have multiple applications that touches IoT and also artificial intelligence. And our Bay units, they are compatible with both 2.5 and also 2.5 hard drives or SSDs and also NVMEs. So what is QNAP strategy? So QNAP strategy is that we're trying to imitate, what we had, like, for example, in the cell phone industry, especially if you remember in the 90s, we used to have like cell phones in which you can just make calls. But then we have smartphones in which you can, for example, like use or download application, and then you can use your phone for multiple purposes. This is the same thing with QNAP as well. So we have the first generation was just a file server, okay? But now we cannot just say, okay, QNAP is a file server, or it's, for example, just a NAS. No, that's not true. Because as I mentioned, like QNAP, we develop applications, and also you can use it for different purposes. Like, for example, you can use it for multimedia. So we have tons of applications for multimedia. You can do transcoding to 4K as well. Also, we have downloading station, email server, surveillance, MySQL, web server, FTP server. Also, you can use it as a cloud. So let's say if you're working like remotely, okay, and your NAS is in the office. The admin of the NAS, he can, let's say, create like an account for you, okay, and then you can access to the NAS from distance. Also, QNAP comes with a free VPN, okay? So you can access the NAS, you can access the data securely without any issues. Also comes within QNAP NAS, it comes also a firewall, which is included. So you can restrict, for example, who's accessing to the NAS, which region they can access to it, and which IP addresses they can access to it as well, okay? And all those features on the application I'm mentioning to you guys is free. You don't have to pay a license fee, and it comes like for you guys so as you can work safely without any issues. And also you can use it as a backup server as well. As I mentioned, like we have an app center, and you can download like, okay, any application that you want. As I mentioned, like we have tons of applications. They touch multimedia, backups, virtualization, and so on, okay? So anything that QNAP develops, so we push it inside this app center, and you just need like to check, okay, the application that we have, the title is it like a backup? You want something about the backup, multimedia, for example, snapshots or whatever, and then you can download it and you can use it on top of your QNAP NAS. One of the things, or maybe the features that comes within QNAP NAS is the RAID. So we have like multiple RAID options. We have RAID 5, 6, 10, 50, and 60. Also, you have snapshots in case, for example, you are attacked with ransomwares, because the modern days, like every day you hear like attacks, okay? So how you can secure your data, okay? So you can do something which is snapshots, and then you can replicate that snapshot to the cloud, or you can replicate that snapshot to a different QNAP NAS unit, okay? Also, you can do like iSCSI, you can do like NFS, SMB, and so on. Also, it comes with SSD caching, so you can set up, like, for example, SSD, and then you can use it for caching, or you can use M.2s for caching as well. One of the main applications that we have within QNAP NAS, and it is good for you guys to have it, is you can virtualize something on top of QNAP NAS. So no need basically to get like a server, and you pay like for the server, you pay for VMware and so on. So you can just go to this application, which is named QNAP Virtualization Station, which is a QNAP hypervisor, and you can virtualize any OS that you like. Either it's gonna be Windows, Linux, Unix on the top of your QNAP NAS, okay? And also it comes with snapshots. So in case, for example, you want to snapshot, and also you can do like file versioning, that's gonna be possible, okay? And also it comes with active, passive. So you can have two NAS unit. One is gonna be active in case, the unit is down, then second unit is gonna be like a backup to it. And your virtualization is gonna be 100% active all the time. Also, we have something which is named Container Station, which supports LXC and Docker. So if you like, for example, an application which has been developed by other users, you can use it on the top of QNAP NAS as well. And both of those applications developed by QNAP, you don't need to pay a license fee for them. The other application that we have also within QNAP, so we have surveillance. We have like, hyperdata protection, sorry. So that's, for example, if you want to back up your VMware and also Hyper-V environments. Most of the time, what the customers, they do, they get like a license from another software vendor, so as they can back up the VMs to QNAP. But with this application, no need to do like, to pay like licenses. And also it comes with compression, deduplication, file versioning as well. And it is within QNAP software as well, okay? Any questions about this? The other application that we have within QNAP is surveillance, okay? So we have a surveillance application that comes inside QNAP NAS as well, and you can have like any IP camera that you like, okay? So we have a demo unit which is in the back, which is this one. Can you believe it or not? This is a 4-bay unit from QNAP, and it is an EVR, it is a NAS, and it is a switch, a two-way switch. Okay, so for surveillance, if you're gonna be using, for example, this solution, you don't need like an EVR, you don't need a storage, you don't need a switch. And you can see how much budget is gonna save you. So one solution, what you need, just the IP cameras, that's it, that's all what you need. Because in this unit, you have a PoE switch in the back of the unit, and also you have 4 bays. And each bay can take up to 22 terabytes. Okay, within QNAP OS for surveillance, so it comes with multiple applications. One of the main applications is QVR Center. What does it mean? It means that, okay, if you have multiple offices and you want to centralize, for example, the surveillance systems, you can just install one QNAP in VR in that location, okay? And then it's going to be managed from the headquarters. So all those streams, they're going to be coming to the headquarters, to the main NAS. And you can see what is happening, for example, in that remote location. So QNAP in VR or QNAP surveillance system, it comes with 8 licenses. So which means if you have, let's say, 8 cameras, no need to pay a license fee. If you have more than that, more than 8 licenses, then in this case, it's going to be one-time fee. It's not like renewed like every year, one-time fee. And this may cost like $50, I guess, or $60. Okay? Also, we have like within QNAP surveillance solution, we have the guard, in which one unit is going to be active, one is going to be passive. In case, the first unit's surveillance unit, dies, the second unit is going to be like a backup to it. Also, we have the QVR Pro clients, in which you can use, let's say, your cell phone, you're outside, you want to check, for example, your IP cameras, you can just use the QVR Pro clients. Okay? Also, it comes with artificial intelligence as well. So if you want to use this, for example, to count how many people, for example, that are coming into your store. Which section, for example, they are targeting. If you have, for example, like a retail, it's going to tell you exactly which section, when the customers you have the customers in, they're going to tell you, okay, which section they are targeting. How many people you receive, like, for example, each day. You see what I mean? So it's going to give you like statistics, which is going to help you guys to improve your business efficiency. We have also like multiple applications that comes on the phone as well. Like, for example, QFile, if I'm outside. It's your own cloud, but, okay, off. We have like QFile as well. So, which means if you're outside, you want access, for example, to your file, which exists on the NAS, you can use this application. It's your own cloud. So, for example, you don't need to pay for the storage. Also, we have like features in which, for example, if you have like the data on the NAS, you want to replicate them to the cloud, that's going to be possible. Also, we have like now fiber channel as well. So QNAP, as I mentioned, it comes with 2.5 gig, 10 gig, 25 gig, 100 gig. But if you want to use like fiber channels, either 8 gig, 16 gig, 32 gig, that's going to be possible. Okay. I'm going to skip some applications. I'm going to just show you maybe some applications which are interesting to you guys. Like, we have also like cloud storage gateway. So cloud storage gateway is that instead of, let's say, you have the data on the cloud, okay? So instead, for example, that's all the machines that you have that are accessing, for example, directly to the cloud, which is gonna cost you a lot of money, because there are some clouds they're gonna be asking about like, okay, how many times you access the data, okay? So what we are proposing is like QNAP gateway. So the data is gonna be synced with the cloud, and you're gonna have like, okay, multiple machines that are accessing to data that you have on the NAS using the LAN speed. So which means they can use like 10 gig connectivity to access the data that you have on the cloud. Instead of having like, okay, the units, they're accessing like directly to the cloud, which depends on the internet speed. So you can have like multiple people working on a project, but they're accessing on the file like on the NAS. Also, we have like another application which is named BookSafe. So BookSafe is basically like an application to back up G Suite and Office 365. Most of the time, what the customers they do, they pay like a software so as they can back up their emails, calendars, contacts, and so on. It doesn't make any sense. So QNAP, we just introduced this application. You can just, for example, download like, okay, the domains, and then all the emails, it's gonna be backed up to the QNAP. Calendars, contacts to the QNAP NAS, okay? No need basically to pay a license fee. So all those features, all those applications, they comes within QNAP NAS. Okay, I'm so sorry. Also, we have like another application in which you can use to back up files to the cloud. It comes with compression, it comes with deduplication as well. So if you have like a VMware environment, so you can use this application to back up the data to the cloud. And this comes with compression, it comes also with deduplication as well, okay? That's HBS 3 application. To protect your data as well, so we also comes up with NDR solution, which is named EDRA. So QNAP now is going to this segment as well. So This is like an application that comes also with QNAP NAS that can protect the whole environment. It doesn't mean that it's going to protect just the data that you have within QNAP, but also it's going to protect all the environment that you have against ransomware, against attacks as well. So in case there's an attack, it's going to give like notification to the admin of the environment so as it can stop the attack. Also, we have switches. We have also routers for SMB. They comes with 10 gig connectivity. And also we have next generation PoE switches. So those are like, okay, switches, but also storage as well. So they comes with 2 bays inside them. So instead, as I mentioned, technology, they merge. So instead, I'm gonna have like a switch and storage like separated. I'm gonna have one unit, it's gonna be both. It's gonna be a switch, and also it's gonna be a NAS. It's gonna save your budget, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. Also, this is the first PoE switch worldwide in which you can have VMs as well. So it comes with 2 OS inside it, and if you want to run like a VM on top of it, that's gonna be possible. If you want also to use it as a firewall, that's gonna be possible as well. Okay, thanks everyone. So this is, my presentation. I'm so sorry I took more than 20 minutes. And also like we have multiple switches for you guys, like, okay, managed or unmanaged, 10 gig, 25 gig, and so on. Yeah, any questions? Okay, sure. If you need a demo or if you need, like, for example, if you have any question, you can stop in my booth, okay? And yeah, as I mentioned, like we have tons of applications. It's really gonna be useful for you guys. It's just like we need you guys, like if you have any kind of scenario, just let us know, me or Vlad, and definitely we can help you with that. Thank you.
Okay, we will have now 10-minute break. We're a little bit over time, so 10-minute break. Coffee outside the room. If somebody not registered, please see our booth in the register. And I will say thank you for all people who is looking at our event online on YouTube. Thank you very much, guys. We appreciate that. And our next presenter will be virtual. So 10-minute break.
So okay, welcome back. If you do have coffee with you, I hope you didn't, but if you do, please be careful. Our next presenter will be a gentleman, his name Larry, and he's going to be remotely. So again, we talk about hybrid, we're going to use it, and we're going to implement it right now. So Larry going to present, and after that we will continue our normal presentations.
All right, Vlad, can you still hear me okay?
Yep.
Thumbs up means you guys can hear me, so this will be interesting because I can't hear anything on that end, but not a problem. We'll proceed forward and we'll make the best of this. So thank you so much for having us. My name is Larry Metter. I am Channel Chief with DataStream Cyber Insurance, and we're just going to spend 10, 15 minutes here kind of talking about cyber insurance and what we can do to help you out here. So cyber risk today is a very real concern, or at least it should be a very, very real top concern for all company executives, because it is probably one of the biggest risks that any company faces, especially the small to medium business sector, which I'll from here on out refer to as SMBs. There's obviously been an awful lot of media coverage of cyber attacks in the press. And, you know, the bad thing about this is, well, look, I mean, talking about cyber attacks is a bad thing in and of itself, but really the only ones that most people hear about are the really large attacks like the Colonial Pipeline attack and different things like that. The scary part is how many thousands of attacks are happening every week to small to medium-sized businesses. And, you know, no business can escape cyber attacks. But unfortunately, most of the ones that happen, they're just too small to make the press. So we only hear about those really large ones. Obviously, we've all made it through the pandemic, or at least we hope we have. It seems like things have calmed down quite a bit, but that pandemic has kind of changed the work landscape as we know it. Most companies now have adopted a hybrid workforce. Many have gone to a completely remote workforce, and that's put an increased reliance on data, and that's also had a really big impact on the risk out there, because now all of a sudden with all of the remote workers, you have a much larger threat landscape, more entry points, more endpoints for the threat attackers, threat actors to get in on. Obviously, ransomware is the one that we all hear about most of the time, but you know, the other one that's really starting to become a really large pain for many companies is funds transfer fraud. That's really been driving cyber losses up quite a bit. And then, you know, the average cost of a cyber attack is not cheap. I'm going to show some numbers here in just a minute, just to kind of put some real numbers to that. And let me flip to that screen here real quick. And the numbers that you are seeing, I'm based down here in the US. So these are US dollars, not Canadian dollars. So I just wanted to clarify that. But, you know, it's scary numbers. 61% of SMBs were the target of a cyber attack in 2021. The average ransomware payment was over $800,000. The average cost to remediate was almost 1.5 million. And then roughly 25% of SMBs could not continue operating if they got hit with a ransomware attack. So obviously, cyber insurance is critical for your business, regardless of what size it is, because all of us, I don't care what industry you are in, have some type of data that we need to protect. And why is cyber insurance crucial for your business? Well, it's going to provide financial protection. Like I said earlier, cyber risk is the biggest risk that most businesses are facing right now. And that's because the damage can be incredibly costly. You just saw it on the previous slide. Losses can easily go into the millions of dollars, regardless of the size of your business. But, the other thing here is, this is a threat that actually has, or a risk, I should say, that actually has an active human threat actor who is constantly innovating, modifying how they make these breaches and different things like that. The threat landscape literally is changing, not even day by day, it's hour by hour. Cyber insurance is also crucial for your business because it provides you with business continuity. So should you suffer some type of cyber incident, it's obviously going to disrupt your business operations. It's going to lead to lost revenue and productivity. Yet cyber insurance can help make you whole and get you back on your feet much, much faster than if you did not have cyber insurance. And it can also, cyber insurance can help protect your business reputation, because if you do happen to go through some type of security incident, it can very seriously damage a business's reputation. It can cause you to lose customers. Obviously, you're going to lose some revenue. You'll probably have some increased cost. It may tarnish your brand image. So cyber insurance can step in and help with that, because they can pay for PR firms and different things like that to help you make sure you get back on your feet and get a good brand image reestablished. And then oftentimes the cost of cyber insurance surprises a lot of people because it's surprisingly low. Matter of fact, cyber insurance typically costs well less than 10% of your total IT budget. And for businesses under $10 million in revenue, the average cost is around $5,000. The median cost is actually about $3,000 a year. We typically see it ranging anywhere from about $1,000 to $8,000. And that really depends on what vertical you are in. So I've thrown a bunch of information out at you without telling you who we are. Well, I just wanted to kind of set the stage here real quick and then introduce you to who DataStream is. We are a specialist cyber insurance only broker with over 40 plus carriers in our portfolio, including many of the logos that you see on the screen here. We are actually owned by Envelop Risk. Envelop Risk is a company out of the UK that has very quickly over the past 5 or 6 years become the world's third largest cyber reinsurance company. For those of you that may not be terribly familiar with insurance and reinsurance, a reinsurance company is the company that insures all other cyber carriers. So as a result, we actually are a data science company under the hood. We've got quite a few data scientists that we've pulled over from like Lockheed Martin and other companies in the aerospace industry. We're using artificial intelligence and machine learning to kind of drill in and establish baseline trends and different things like that so that we can hopefully make this a better product and a better landscape for everyone. So DataStream currently is a broker. We are part of Envelop Risk. Envelop Risk is the world's third largest cyber reinsurance company, all of that fun stuff. So what exactly does a good cyber policy cover? And this is something I kind of want to touch on because, you know, I talk to lots of companies all the time, and oftentimes somebody will say, oh yeah, I've got cyber insurance. And one of the services that we offer is a free policy review, because we like to make sure that you have adequate coverage. And a lot of times what we see when people say that they've got cyber insurance, they've actually got a rider on maybe their CGL policy or their business owner's policy. And unfortunately, a rider really isn't going to cover much if you have a cybersecurity incident. So when we say a good cyber policy, we mean a standalone cyber insurance policy, because a good standalone cyber insurance policy is going to cover a whole lot of things. Mainly, we're going to be talking about data breaches, business interruption, cyber extortion. But under each one of those categories, are lots of really little small things that add up and cost you an awful lot of money that a rider typically is not going to cover. So on the data breach side, it's going to obviously cover for breach response and remediation. That's going to include legal fees, fees associated with notifying your customers that you've had a breach, IT forensics, which will be really probably the biggest piece of the pie there because that's usually pretty expensive. The PR support, liaison work with regulators and authorities, various things like that. Under the business interruption side, it's going to cover the cost involved in getting your business whole or getting your business operating again, including things like bricking cost. Oftentimes, some devices may get critically damaged to where you can't use them. So you're going to have to replace equipment, software, different things like that. It's going to cover for loss of earnings, overtime, all kinds of things associated with business interruption. And then cyber extortion, also known as ransomware. It's going to cover the costs involved if you get held hostage by a ransomware attack. So it's going to pay the ransoms. Also, it's going to pay for the services of legal and specialist IT experts to kind of help you get you whole again. So currently in the cyber insurance market, we are seeing a bit of a tiered system develop amongst the carriers out there. Certain carriers do have better policies, but oftentimes, there's a price to pay. They've got much more stringent requirements in place in order to get those better policies. Yet there are some carriers out there that don't have as many requirements, but oftentimes, not every time, but oftentimes those are not necessarily the best policies, especially when we're talking about the premiums that you're going to pay each year, the deductibles or the retention. That word, they basically mean the same thing, as well as a reimbursement policy versus a pay on behalf of policy. We always try to recommend a pay on behalf of policy for small to medium-sized businesses. And the big difference here is, should you suffer some type of security incident, if you've got a reimbursement policy, that means you got to dish out some money and wait for the insurance company to reimburse you 30, 60, 90 days down the road. It might be worth it, and we typically recommend this, for you to go with a pay on behalf of policy if somebody's offering that, because that means if you have that cybersecurity incident, you're not going to have to dish out any money. The insurance company is going to pay it on behalf of you. So that way you kind of protect your financial resources and all of that good stuff. You do pay a little bit higher premium for a pay on behalf of policy, but oftentimes we really feel it's worth it. So while we're talking about those requirements, these are the big 5 requirements right now that are required by most cyber insurance carriers out there. And that is MFA on your email, remote access, and privileged access devices. Password management, that's, kind of rotating your passwords every 30, 60, or 90 days. Either offline or cloud backup on a regular schedule. And regular schedule, folks, does not mean, we back up once a year. That's not going to quite cut it. Most people want to see daily, if not weekly backups. Endpoint detection and response. This can be, typically we call it EDR, but there's various flavors. There's MDR, there's XDR, all of that good stuff that I know Vlad and his team are going to talk to you about. And then when the last one's here, it's really not a technology, but it's more of a process, and that is end user cyber readiness or cyber awareness training. And again, that's one of those things, don't do it once a year because the carriers are going to say that's not sufficient. They're typically wanting to see this end user security awareness training done at least quarterly, if not monthly, because, the weakest link in the chain here, folks, is us, the human. We're the ones that click on those phishing emails and different things like that. So that's why end user security awareness training is so critical. And then one of the things that we offer to customers, and I'm sure Vlad will talk to you about this here in a little bit, but as a broker, we can do a lot of work for you. We have a digital transaction process. We aim to make things really fast, really easy for you. I don't know if any of you in the audience have tried to fill out a cyber insurance application, but I'm sure if anybody out there has done that, they know it's not exactly a fun process. because they're usually incredibly lengthy. And of course, every carrier has their own application. Well, if you work with the data stream, we can take care of that for you because we have a universal application. You just fill it out one time, then we go to work on your behalf, going out there and finding which carriers want to offer up a quote. Then we'll present all of the quotes to you and explain the differences between each quote. And for customers that are typically going through our process, we're actually closing about 70% of the deals right now. And then, you know, we're not just here to sell you an insurance policy. We're also here to kind of be that consultative body that can help you out here. And, you know, once you put a policy in place, we can help you in either developing an incident response plan, or if you already have one, we can just kind of help you refine it and make sure that it's up to standards with what most of the carriers are looking for. We can also help you develop a disaster recovery plan. We also offer, and all of these things are absolutely free, we offer an audit tool that makes it real easy for you to document all of the things that you attest to at the time of application. And this is, you know, you need to kind of throughout the life cycle of the policy, you need to stay on top of documenting, especially if you add more devices, more people, different things like that. Because that's one of the biggest things that, you know, people have this bad image about cyber insurance. They say it doesn't pay out. Well, you know, you need to read the policy because oftentimes the policy tells you you've got to document all these things. Otherwise, if you have an incident, it may not pay out. So that's why we assist and help you guys in making sure that everything gets that you've attested to gets documented properly. And then going back to that IRP and DRP, we conduct monthly tabletop exercises, which are, you know, simulated breaches, so that you can kind of test that incident response plan and see if there's anything missing from it, different things like that. So we're really there just to kind of be that resource for you, help educate you, and just help make this easy and be that expert consultant. Because cyber insurance is a much different beast than most other lines of insurance. So I think that pretty much takes up about my 10 minutes worth. And I know we've got Q&A up here, but since I can't hear anyone, I would encourage you to, you know, give your questions to Vlad and team, and he will get in touch with me, and I will be more than happy to get those answered via email or through Vlad. So thanks, everyone. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much. Okay. So we're just going to switch. Okay. And we're gonna go here. Where's the clicker? Okay. Hello. It was a very good, informative presentation about cyber insurance. But let's talk about something that comes before cybersecurity, and it's cyber protection. So, who we are? My name is Vladimir Kolomeisky. I'm a CTO at Cloud IT. I originally was part of VI Professional Solution. We worked with Cloud IT as a partner, and then we decided to work together and be one. So we're managing over 100 plus clients, fully managed, partly managed, depending on what the requirements of the clients. We always try to fit our knowledge and our expertise into what client wants and needs, and not try to push anything. We have, in total, in terms of cybersecurity awareness, we have over 600 users plus that working with our program, and I'll show you later that what it's including and how we can help your companies to be more aware and be more secure in terms of some the cybersecurity and in general. According to different studies and reports, it's not a question of if you're going to get attacked. It's the question of when you're going to get attacked. Everybody get attacked. We have examples of different clients, ours or our partners, that we had to deal with ransom recovery, and unfortunately they had to pay the ransom because they had their backup system were not at par that as it should be, and it was destroyed and they had to pay. And as example, for small businesses, $20,000, $30,000 to pay ransom plus fees for consultants, it's become a big expense. So hopefully we will be able to teach you and help you to learn how to become more aware and prevent these expenses. Common misconceptions. For small businesses, people say, oh, we're too small, we don't have enough, our users know what they need to do, or they don't have time. Perfect. You don't have time. This is the best time for a cyber criminal to actually attack your business and try to sneak through different emails or different other downloads of some questions that you so busy to work attention that the emails you receive, for example, are not legit. Main concerns, as heard in previous presenter, it's loss of reputation. When people hear that you had a ransomware attack, people start thinking, should I do business with this company? Loss of money and time because you have no systems, you can't sell, you have to still pay your employees for wages. And so loss of money, not only in terms of lost sales, also wages. And your insurance rate, if you have insurance for cybersecurity, your insurance rates and your regular insurance rates will go up as a result of unfortunate breach. When we talk about cybersecurity, we have multiple layers. And I will actually start from layer number 4. And you have cybersecurity, which will cyber insurance, which help you in terms of in case the breaches happened. On site. And this is in terms of EDR solution. One of the additional levels that you can do is you can have a takes time until somebody responds. They can respond right away. And the first and most important is employee training. We are the first and the most vulnerable area in your business. We're all running around trying to solve problems, trying to sell products, trying to assist customers, but it's all opening our communication and our life to attacks. And if I will give you examples in terms of who heard about this grandparents scam? Anybody? People getting calls, grandparents get a call, oh, your grandson in jail, we need to pay $5,000. it's all playing not on the computer. It have nothing to do with the computers. It's all your feelings, right? Or somebody calls you and wants you to sell, say, oh, your boss wants you to buy cards. You're scared of your boss, you're buying, you go spend $2,000, and then you understand nobody asked you because you were not aware. So, just for your information, security budget before data breach and security budget after your data breach, two different beasts. And I prefer to stay with the budget that before the breach, so let's spend the time, the money, and most of the time it's time, and try to be more aware, more secure. Based on different information, 79% of IT they were struck by ransomware, but I would say any cyber attack, it could be ransomware, it could be blackout. It could be credential harvesting, so they will send you information to be able to get your credentials to have access to the system, either steal it or get a ransom for it. Most of the 66% of the attacks were delivered by phishing emails. Again, this is what we were talking before. Everything comes through the email. It's the first thing, easiest thing. People don't pay attention. Who is coming from, and if it's things that it's legit, and it's should I open any file. People just get an email, oh, let me open, it's important. Open the file, that's it. The next thing is we have to pay ransom. And the end user training has become the most wearable area of security business. There's multiple steps. I'm not going to go over all the steps, but I'll just highlight a couple of them. One of them is a dark web. If anybody knows what dark web is, not people that work in IT. Dark web, it's the other part of the internet that you don't see. There are certain tools to access it. Usually, not even IT people access this area. And this is where the cyber criminal exchange and sell the information that they got from people that they hacked or they got their credentials. So what we do with our solutions, we monitor the dark web, and in any of your information, either it's a domain-related email, it's email-related, shows up, we're going to be notified, and we will notify you so we can suggest the right steps to prevent and protect yourself. Phishing simulation, as I mentioned before, 66% of the attacks come through the phishing. So as we say, it's better for you to fall in our net than the real net. And what means we will send the simulations, we will see who fell down, if they opened the email or if they opened the actual attachment. We do not get your credentials, but we do know that you put your credentials, and we'll redirect you to the training that matching the level of security that you got to. We have two types of trainings. We have yearly training that people need to go through, and they need to pass this training at 80% and up and higher. And we have daily, weekly emails that give you more information and also give you weekly trainings about different attacks that happens right now. So now with the tax season, there's trainings about tax scams. Or there's scams about you getting text message saying, hey, you have $150 in tax return, please click here. It doesn't happen through text. So you need to be aware a little bit more about that. So this is one of the things that we do through the system, as well as we help with provisioning security policies and procedures, same as connect to what Larry mentioned about your incident response, disaster recovery response plans. We help you to prepare and be monitoring everything that's going on. as well as measure your employee risk. And this is the example screenshot of employee awareness assessment tool that we have, which takes everything in calculation, your trainings, your dark web monitoring, and your assessment. Every employee goes through the assessment through the system, and bringing this together give you a score. In this case, the person has 714. It's green. It's great. You just need to continue and maintain their score. Also, this tool will also allow you to have kind of friendly competition between the employees and the company, because everybody wants to be first. I don't know what. I like to be first. Score. I want to go to more trainings. I want to win. And again, it's all friendly, but yes, he's one of the problems that making me give me problems. That's it. Okay. So again, as I mentioned, with increased gamification, a couple of the tools that we have within the solution is we have add-on that can be in your Outlook, and if you receive an email and you're not sure if it's legit, you just click on the button. It will go through the SLAM protocol. SLAM, it means it's subject, language, appearance, and something else, a little here, I don't remember. And it will help you to understand if it's a legit email or if there's a problem with the email. If there's a problem with the email, it will allow you to actually help you submit this email to support team for their review and be able to help to protect your organization. Yes?
I have a question about this score. So do you guys have a database of the scores of each employee?
Yes.
Because the reason why I'm asking, because if I want to hire somebody else that's coming from one company to another, I would like to request the score.
So what you can do,
what is going to be low, I don't want to hire you.
What you can do is we can run these assessments before you actually hire the person. And we can give you what's his score. So he's going to do the training, he's going fast. Huh? If they're going to bring, if the other company going to give you the information, sure. Yeah.
I just going to say, well, you are not the candidate that I'm looking for.
No, I'm not talking about that. If the other company using the solution, then yes. If the other company don't use, you have a tool within our system that you can do assessment for potential employees, and you can run your own assessments for them.
That becomes a common practice now.
Because it's part of your solution.
Do cybersecurity assessment for new hires before they sign a final signing contract.
So as you see, I'm not a big speaker.
And the second question is about cloud.
Yes.
If there is going to be somebody got an access to my computer,
yes,
can they go and delete all the information from the cloud?
No.
Because they're going to have access.
No, the backup has no connection to your computer. So, for example, if we're using Dell Backup, it has an agent that communicates to their servers, and it back up all the data to their servers. If somebody comes and deletes your computer, the only thing they can delete is the agent, which can be reinstalled. But all your data stays in the servers, can be accessible, restored. Either it's Office 365, SharePoint, all the parts, or the actual data that if you want to back up from the computers or the servers. Okay.
Is this tool only supposed to be user initiated, or it can be run
No.
automatically?
Which tool?
This tool,
Catchfish is a user associate. It's a user.
So it's like
Yeah.
think is like, okay, maybe it's like suspicious email.
I mean, you're going through the trainings, and you will know at that point that what to look for in the emails. And if you're concerned, then you will blind.
It'd be great if it's kind of scan email and just highlight and just like be careful with this.
We actually Microsoft has this solution, this option. It can recognize, and it's either send it to quarantine, or it's any of your time. We don't require any of your budget expenses to deploy the solution. You can deploy, integrate with your environment. If you're using Office 365, to log in the system, and you can start doing the trainings and everything else as soon as possible and become more secure and more knowledgeable. We encourage you to use today's promotion, get a 1-hour free consultation with our team. We encourage you to do that for the cybersecurity, but you feel free to use it for anything you want. You can use it for hybrid workspace. You can use it for anything else. And okay, thank you very much. I hope it was informative. If anybody has sorry, I'm breaking things for people. If somebody will have any questions, please feel free. I will be here the rest of the day. We'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
So we have a 15-minute break again. Coffee is outside. We are here. Questions, you are very welcome.
next presenter, his name Kelly, and I think he's going to talk about different digital adoption program, some grants, funding that you can have. So I'll pass to Kelly. How are you doing? So everybody can hear you.
Well. Can you hear me? Everybody's doing well? Excellent. So I was invited to give a presentation on the Canadian Digital Adoption Program. This is a program that has been set up by the federal government last year to provide funds to help businesses bring up their technology and digitize so that they're getting more efficiency, but also they remain more competitive on a global market. So the program mandate is, this is what they stated is, to close the digitization gap between Canadian businesses and their global competitors. Now, over the past year, a lot of the digital advisors have discussed this, and we've tried to find a way of putting this in plain language. And the easiest explanation I have for it is when you own a business, you buy all the technology that's the best technology at the time you start the business. Then over time, you're running the business. You don't have the time to do the research. You don't have the time to get all of the, determine what technologies to add would be beneficial to make you more competitive. This means, though, that a business that is a competitor to you that starts 5 years later is now got a 5-year head start on you for the simple reason that you're busy running their business and they're starting from scratch, and therefore they had the time to do the research. This program is designed to provide the funds so that you can bring yourself up to that next level, be more competitive, and grow. And it's been a very successful program thus far. The total investment by the federal government is $1.4 billion, more than enough money to make sure that everybody who needs it and can get advantage of it will do it. And it's over 4 years, starting from last year. Now, there are 2 streams of investment. You probably might have heard of Stream 1 already. This is a micro grant of $2,400 to help small businesses implement e-commerce strategies. We're not going to be discussing that in this presentation. So if you are interested in this, you can look it up at the address, and I will be providing a PDF of this to Vlad so that he can forward it to you, and you'll have the address in there as well. What we are discussing is Stream 2, which is the Boost Your Business Technology Grant. This is a grant for developing a digital adoption plan so that your business can grow, and you're going to be getting the right technology so that you can move forward, both in securing your business, hybridizing your business, all of the stuff you need. This is to develop the plan for it, and then it also opens up a really amazing loan with the BDC. What's the grant for? It's up to $15,000. This is to develop the plan. They're hoping to get over 35,000 small, medium enterprises. And the grant covers 90% of the cost for generating the digital adoption plan. Now, why make a digital adoption plan? As I explained earlier, by hiring an approved digital advisor, you run your business, they do the research for the technologies for you to adopt, grow, and resolve the problems that you're encountering on a day-to-day basis. Almost every business owner I know has had that point where they're like, I need this tech, but they don't have the time to research what's the best, what's going to work with their environment, how to handle the change management. So what ends up happening is, because they have to do something, they don't do a plan, they implement it, and then they find out while implementing the plan that it doesn't actually solve the problem they were hoping it would solve. This grant is designed so you can hire an approved digital advisor to help do that research, so you know when you do the investment in the infrastructure, the capital investment, that you are getting exactly what you need to get your business to the next level. To become an approved digital advisor is actually quite a difficult task. You have to have a graduate degree in a STEM field. You have to have at least 15 years experience in IT and related fields. And you have to have written 3 to 4 plans similar to this in the history, and they actually do check into it. So you're getting somebody who really does know how to do research, knows how to read the trade journals, knows how to find the right technology, and knows how to talk with you as a business analyst so that you are best set when you decide to move forward with the plan. Now, to be absolutely clear, the grant is for the plan, not the implementation. This is important because you're paying for that expertise to do the change management, to make sure that when the accounting system's turned over, everything is smooth, to make sure when you're implementing the hybridization, everybody is happy and it works. All of that is there because by planning, the implementation becomes smoother and your business can operate better. That's what the grant's for. Brian Tracy, who's a fairly well-known business consultant, says every minute you spend in planning saves 10 minutes in execution, which is 1,000% return on energy. And this is true. Almost everybody I've met has found that planning, even if the plan gets adjusted after you start implementing it, the benefit after the fact is so much more than flying by the seat of your pants. Why is it helpful? Better implementation. If you're an engineer, you know the rule of thumb, 30% of the cost on any project is planning. This is that planning. You gain access to a digital advisor. These are special individuals who are trained, who know what they're doing, know the business analysis, know how to make sure that they are getting what you want and what you need to bring your business to the next level. The plan is supposed to introduce some clarity. We do business analysis, we do SWOT analysis, business model review, strategic planning. And in that process, a lot of my clients who I've done CDAPs for have discovered very interesting things, such as a massage clinic realizing that their business model isn't providing good massages, it's providing the rooms for other massage therapists to provide good massages. So that adjusted what tools they would need to digitize, because the better services they could provide to those massage therapists, the better their business would do. So we do that analysis so we know where you're going, we know where your income is, and we know the investment is going to play well within your business model. Education. It's not my job as a digital advisor to parrot back exactly what you say to me. We do the legwork. We go out there to figure out what digitization opportunities exist. We have a research team that does this. And this is where we discover really fascinating things, like a farmer who really wasn't sure how we digitize his work. We discovered a satellite system where he could pay into it, and his 1,000 acres of land would get photos done from space every 7 to 10 days, which included moisture analysis and stuff like that. Blew his mind. It's going to save him tens of thousands of dollars a year. Another individual discovered that there is a way to hybridize their environment so that the employees are able to do the parallel programming that they were doing before without requiring both people to be at the same desk. Again, we do the research, we do the legwork. Now, the most interesting part, though, is there's a BDC loan that comes with this. Whatever is written in the plan, the BDC, once the plan is completed, has an offer of a loan up to $100,000 at 0% interest, no fees, no personal guarantee to implement what's in that plan. Now, note, you don't have to implement it with a digital advisor. And in fact, I would recommend you go with an IT provider that you are happy with to implement it. But that money is now available for you to bring it to the next level, which, as we all know, with 7% inflation this year, it's looking like that's essentially a negative 7% loan. Plan covers all areas of digitization, not just digital marketing. We do cybersecurity, we do payment processing, research and development, operations. Again, hybridization, security, everything is covered. So if there's an area in your business where you know you are lacking on the digitization front, the digital advisor comes in, he researches the best opportunities, he writes up a plan, you go, great, I love this plan, you go get the 0% interest loan and you can start implementing it pretty much within a week or two of the plan being complete. It's a fantastic deal, and it will help Canadian businesses become very competitive on the global market. What does the plan consist of? It consists of an executive summary, the business and technology current state analysis. This is where we do the SWOT. This is where we would discuss with you to determine where your issues are and discuss where your technology is, so that the change management brought up in the digital adoption analysis, which is the next part, makes sense. Then we do a digital adoption analysis recommendation. We have to provide at least 3 recommendations And then with those 3 recommendations, we provide the change management, implementation roadmap, and an estimated cost for the solutions. All of this is written entirely neutral so that you can go to any vendor who provides those services and they'll be able to do it for you. In short, it's a grant up to $15,000 to hire an expert to develop a proper digital adoption plan for your business. That alone is worth it. The opportunity on top of it is once it's done, you can get up to it, depending on what your revenues are. It's $50K default for most businesses, but if your revenues are above a certain line, I believe it's 3 million, it's a 0%, up to 100K, 0% interest, no personal guarantee, no fee loan from BDC to implement the plan. So I can sense a lot of people would be like, that's great. How do I get started? Is this a lot of work? Is it going to really take a ton of time out of my day? No, not at all. As long as you match this, you're eligible for this grant. You're a sole proprietor or business incorporated in Canada. You're for profit. You're privately owned. You have between 1 to 499 employees, so basically less than 500 employees. And your annual revenues are either above 500,000 in 1 year of the previous 3 years and below 100 million in 1 year of the previous 3 years. Then what happens? Go to this URL. We've set it up so it's easy to find how to apply. It's cdap-pandarose.ca, not .com, sorry. I'll fix that. No, .com, that is correct, sorry. cdap-pandarose.com. If you go there and you scroll down to the bottom, there's a little apply here. You click on that, it takes you right to the application for the CDAP. What happens is it'll do have you log in. It'll have you verify your identity, either using Verified Me or using a CDAP identity verifier. And then you have to also, as a director of the organization, sign into the CRA so that they can validate that your corporation qualifies for the loan. Once those 2 things are there, it takes very little time once the verification is complete for them to say, yep, you're qualified, and you'll get a notice, gain access to the Digital Advisor Marketplace. And at that point, you are approved for the $15,000 loan. So what does that look like with Panda Rose? Well, first, you apply and get approved for the grant. I can always help you out with this, but at the end of the day, you have to go through that process. It's relatively straightforward. It takes about a half hour to go through everything. Once you've been approved for the grant, you contact Panda Rose and we provide a statement of work. We are charging a flat fee of $15K for developing a CDAP. That means you're going to get $13,500 back from the government as part of the grant. This is just a nice, easy way to keep everything clean. We then do an interview. It's about a 1 hour, 1.5 hour interview to do background research and learn more about your business, learn more and start to develop that SWOT plan and do that business analysis. Once we have that, we go and we put together a plan with 3 digital recommendations. We do some back and forth, but most of the work is on our side at this point. Drafts are sent for adjustments if needed, and then we finalize, put it into a nice format, and we sign off on it. Really, it's a prime opportunity for all businesses to plan and grow. This is a great structure for there to be a plan to upgrade your IT infrastructure, to get the hybridization in place, to get the cybersecurity in place, and have the finances to implement it with the BDC loan. So it's a win-win all around. All you have to do is apply, and we can start on growing your business. Thanks for having me out. If you have any questions about CDAP, you can contact me. My email is kjrose@pandarose.ca, or you can phone me at my office, which is 780-652-1190. And you can go to our CDAP site we set up, cdap-pandarose.com, to learn more about it and apply today. Thank you very much. I hear somebody, but I'm not hearing them clearly. Everything's fine.
Now I would like to invite to the stage our superhero, our super AV, super master that know how to put all things together, video, audio, mics, whatever it is, lights, to make those hybrid events run smoothly and with a good quality.
Which one? This one here?
No, this is pointer.
Where's the clicker?
This one, right left.
Okay, cool. Wonderful. How's everybody doing today? I've never had, the only time I've had someone actually clap, it was in my past life. And I'm so happy I had a second chance to have a new life. So thank you guys very much for doing it again for me. You know, today you guys were hearing a lot of things about security, cyber insurance, how you work in a hybrid environment, some of the challenges, right? I'm sure many of you guys that are actually working in this environment have experienced a lot of different challenges in terms of, you know, for example, when the pandemic first started, everyone actually rushed home, right? How do I connect to the office? A lot of companies were not actually in that state of mind and didn't have the infrastructure in place to do that. So what happens, people didn't have very good internet at home, they didn't have very good laptops, or they did have laptops or computers that actually did not meet the minimum requirements to have that very good work balance from at home. Computers crashing, computers stalling, not enough memory, low internet bandwidth. You had cameras that you're trying to do virtual conference with that is dark, you know, not proper lighting within that environment. So throughout the pandemic, there's almost like a sea shift that has changed, and people now have come to demand, like we need to have that very efficient hybrid working so that you can be efficient, right? You're not fiddling around with technology, and the technology fits right for what you're trying to do at home. Companies realize that, hey, the issues we had during the pandemic, we have to actually solve them if we're going to maintain this hybrid environment. So today, I'm just going to go through, I'm not going to go through all of whatever the other presenters went through ahead. We'll skip through a few of those ones and just see if you guys can actually relate with any of it at all. And then we'll talk a little bit about what technologies or solutions that VI and Cloud IT we can put together for you in case you're having any of these sort of issues. So the hybrid workspace, the home, office, boardroom, challenges throughout the pandemic. And now that we sort of coming out of that pandemic, I think things are getting a little bit better. So, introduce myself. My name is Earl Sharp. If you guys recognize me, that's my CD cover. I'd like to say that my key good areas, it's in areas of personality. I think my personality is good. I try to work with everybody, try and make it funny as possible. Musician, I love jazz. If you guys don't like jazz, I can ask you guys, right? And I try to be as perfect as I can in terms of the job, the projects we work on. I need to have that little finesse. That's the key differentiator between us and many of the other organizations that are out there. And we can prove that, okay? About 30 years in music production. I have a keen ear for sound, for video, and it's one of the things I'm extremely passionate about. So now I'm gonna show you guys that there's some proof to that. That's 30 years on that. So this is me about 30 years ago. I know some of you guys want to laugh and you guys are in denial, but truly it is me, okay? So the whole, still laughing, eh? Okay. So the home hybrid challenge, right? On reliable internet, we spoke about that before. Inadequate hardware, like we're going to see, like we have our supporters here, Dell, Synology, and these other guys. Inadequate hardware and software, cybersecurity threats, issues. It's actually, during the pandemic, it was actually a plethora of these calls we will get in to try and solve issues for companies and also for individuals at home. You hear difficulty accessing files, data remotely, constant problems. Bad internet connection, don't have good firewall security, can't access files, files out of sync, depending on which sort of software and platform people are using. Compatibility issues that they have. Audio clarity, this is my expertise here, right? the tools that you're using, what sort of platform you're using, all right? We've got poor video quality, big problem. Poor lighting. Do you know, it's a quick question, a lot of people they're doing these Teams, Zooms, all of these other tools in terms of remote virtual meetings. And have you ever really paid attention to someone you speak into that's home, and you can see their face, but you can't see their eyes. You know, their eyes are synced in, and their eyes look like a cadaver, really, right? Because usually when you see someone, you can see their eyes, it's winking, you can see the pupils of the eyes. There's a connection that happens there, right? And this is just due to really poor lighting. People have lights that it looks terrible. So if you're doing a really good presentation, people cannot really identify really well with you. That's a big issue. Here, we're not going to talk about the internet connection. We'll talk a little bit about hardware. What types of hardware you use to achieve that really good experience. And basically what everyone's calling it now is that immersive video conference that you feel, even you're remote or you're at home, you're having that sort of one-on-one connection. So since the pandemic, there's a lot of technologies that have come into the marketplace that actually allow you to have that sort of immersive experience, or you in your boardrooms. Right? We'll talk a little bit about some of those ones. We wouldn't talk about cybersecurity because due to time, and everyone already spoke about that already, right? Compatibility issues, we'll talk a little bit about that. Audio clarity, what type of equipment produces those sort of good outcomes. Video, and lighting. You guys recognize something like this? How many of you guys had this sort of environment, or have you still do, or you've migrated up to something better? When I hear silence, that means many of you still have that, right? No one's confirming. That's a poor sign. So, so I will say to you guys, if you're shy to say yes, you do, you can come talk to me at the end of the show, and I'll definitely have a good solution for you. Okay? What about this? Let me see if anyone's brave enough to say yes. All right. Okay, good. So if you do, I'm telling you, this is not good for you. I can tell you in about 10 years, you're going to have lumbar issues. You'll have carpal tunnel. We can talk about that. And you guys are here at the Improve Center, right? Any of you had a walk around? Right? So what we're going to see, you're going to see that a lot of the vendors here can actually assist you in terms of if you're doing a design at home, or you have this, you want to do a very nice home office. A lot of executives are here and sit like this at home, right? It's not a good thing. You guys are familiar with this. You see she's at home below the kitchen, right? Counter, right? So this is where things get done in the corporate office. Well, these are some technologies that are out there that came alive during the pandemic, right? Before, everyone had those Logitech little cameras. It just looked at you. There was no white balance. There's no RGB color balance inside of those ones. So quality of the visual was actually pretty bad. These new technologies actually have a few different things built into them. One, if it's in a boardroom or a breakout room where you have 2 or more people speaking, you don't really have to cuddle up one next to another, right, to get your face into that camera. This camera will do a wide zoom. When one person is speaking, it will frame them and zoom into them. The other person talk, it will move. If you're in a boardroom sort of like environment, you can walk around like I'm walking here, and that camera will follow you. We didn't have one here for you guys to show you, but I'll be willing to talk to you guys about all those new technologies, how they work, right? A lot of these technologies, they come in with Zoom or Teams built into the system. So you don't really have to have that extra. It's extremely very easy, right? Here's some other technologies that where they incorporate a sound bar, comes your microphone and camera built in. So those for those little huddle rooms and some boardrooms where this camera is almost like the one before, where it will actually pan, tilt, and track, as Vlad is showing you over here. And so it does movement and voice will track you. And what some of these unique differences that these bars have is they have what is called virtual microphones built into them, opposed to like those Logitech cameras what you had before, where it's just a one microphone, right? If you're using it in a boardroom, it's a problem. And because of that immersive requirement that people remotely wants to hear you properly, like they're speaking only to you, this technology has virtual microphones in there. So for example, one of these technologies has about 8,192 microphones built into it. So anywhere you're sitting in that room and you start talking, the person in the remote feels that they're talking directly to you, right? It's a brand new technology and it's actually killing the market by storm. Please talk to me if you guys have not yet experienced this. So, I'm going to ask another question. How many of you guys have an environment set up like this, either at the office or at home? See, no one spoke again. That means nobody. Please say something. Is that true or not true? You see? Okay, see? There's a few brave people in the audience here today. So, this is a nice setup, breakout room, right? 4 people sitting in that room. They can see the other participants. It's clean, it's set up. So we strive to have these sort of perfect environments where when you come in an environment like this to work, you actually being effective, you're being efficient. You're not worrying about technology. You're not worrying, oh my gosh, is this going to work? I can't see him, I can't hear him. The lighting is not good, right? Because you've got the right technology in place and you've got all the right components. You know, customers that have a company called 400 square feet. So they do a lot of design for people that have spaces and turn magic spaces into very productive environments, right? Like I said before, you are the Improve Center. If you have you executives that need a very good setup at home where you're comfortable, you don't know where to go, you can't find a contractor to actually make that happen, we've got all the tools and the processes here to make you achieve that sort of goal. Very important next slide here. One of these things here, we have a sample here. Now, this is a smart board, right? And what happens to these smart boards right now in boardrooms, they were around before, but since the pandemic, people need to brainstorm. And brainstorming has taken on a new life of its own. So people need to actually interact with that board. So what happens with this board? Does any of you guys look at CNN? Right. So I see on CNN sometime, they're talking about the poll. Donald Trump only's got only 41% of votes, and the guy, he's moving the stuff on the board. You guys see that? So this is one of these things. So you can open up your PowerPoint if it's a PowerPoint presentation you're doing, or you're brainstorming on a PowerPoint presentation where you can now annotate, take notes directly over that PowerPoint slide and save those changes in your slide directly with people that are in the room or actually working remotely. So it's a very, very, very good introduction into smart boards and how they actually add value to actually when you're doing strategy and planning. So this ones, you can have them in boardrooms, huddle rooms, breakout rooms, executive offices. A lot of them have them in their offices as well. Many executives, they don't want to go to the boardroom. They want to have like a little one-on-one powwow, get through a few things. One of these ones in that office is very, 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 very efficient, right? There are different types that do different types of integration. Some of them, they're one-off, like this one. Some of them have a lot of what is called RS-485 integration. So you want to integrate it into meeting schedulers. So you can have outside of your meeting room a scheduler. You'll know exactly when that room is occupied, who's in that room, things like that. So it depends on the use case. I've never seen someone yawn at one of my meetings, camera guy. But yeah, so here we go. Different sizes, different technologies, and flexible integrations. Right? We'll speed through this a little bit. Yeah, we're talking, we have some attendees here today that have some needs for classroom integration. And we've done some classroom setups like this, where you've got two big of those same boards, like an 80-inch at the front in classroom, where the students can actually look back and see what's going on. And in some of these cases, depending on the use case, some of these students that are here need to interact with some of the remote students that are live. So sometimes we have 2 or sometimes 3 cameras in the room. So camera at the back of the room so they can see the professor who's actually doing the presentation like this, and remotely camera on the front looking back at the classroom if they need to have interaction. So there's many different use cases. If you have a situation where you want to have the room designed to meet that optimal use case, please come talk, help you achieve that goal. Right? Now, audio. So this one here is actually it's a small round, like a little bit bigger than a donut, where you plug into your laptop. It gives you microphone and audio with a lot of echo cancellation. So if you're in a room at home, there's background noises and stuff like that, it will sort of filter those things out. So when you're having that remote conversation with someone remote, they don't get all those background noises. And it's pretty crispy clean. Trust me. There's another brand here that does similar things. And coming back to what I was trying to say to you guys before, nice executive offices. You guys can have it done through lighting. I spoke about it just a little bit before. Lighting is, although it seems very unimportant, it's pretty important in terms of how you present yourself back. I'm not sure how many people here are YouTubers. Your wife, very good. So she's got the light. She's got all that stuff, right? So she looks like a Barbie when she gets on that, right? 3, exactly. So lighting is pretty critical. And if you look at any one of those TikTokers or YouTubers, when you look at those things, it looks pretty amazing. It looks like it's a Hollywood movie that's going on, right? Because audio is good, video is good, lighting, critically important. You look at those videos, you don't see those dark lines. You don't see all those creases on their or dots on their face, right? Because lighting is critical. All right, different types of lighting that you can add. Different types. So in summary, and before I go through this, does anybody have any questions? that means yes. So you guys can come and talk to me at the end. Remote and hybrid virtual meetings, the importance of the right tools for effective communication. It's proper planning for the remote hybrid meetings from all aspects of communication is crucial to ensure the meeting objectives are achieved. In conclusion, remote hybrid virtual meetings require the right tools. That's for sure, right? And the proper planning to effectively with the shift towards remote working and virtual meetings. It's important for organization individuals to make sure that they have the right technology to support that, and we will be really willing and able to sit down and go through any scenario that you do have and come up with that solution. Okay? I want to thank you guys very much. Have a good day.
This is why he talks about the right tools.
Okay, so we are almost at the end. So once again, thank you very much for you who come here in person. Thank you very much for all our attendees on YouTube channel. We very appreciate that. And what's interesting, we are on a hybrid event. On YouTube now, the audience is bigger than we have here in person. So, to summarize what we've been talking about today, I hope you learned something new. The key word for next several years is hybrid. Once again, we like it or not, the new work environment is mixed. Some people don't want to get back to the office. Some managers don't want to allow you to stay home. But they both sides understand that they have to compromise. Employees have to come to the office 1, 2, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, depends on the organization. There are many people that say over these 2.5 years, they lack this in-person communication over a cup of coffee. The statistics shows that idea generation over the meetings is better on in-person or hybrid meeting, not just when everywhere on a Zoom call as we saw at the beginning. So this is with us to stay for a long time. We have to adapt it. We have to understand how to work with that and what technology can help us to build those hybrid environments. So a hybrid workplace. The model mixes in-office and remote work to offer flexibility, and that's one of the new keywords. The hybrid meetings are meetings as we have today, with the part of the audience in person in one big room and other attendees remotely using any collaborative platform. The primary platform in use is Microsoft Teams and Zoom. A hybrid workforce. A hybrid workforce is a type of a blended workforce who 2 days in the office, 3 days at home, vice versa, any combination that your organization allows. So, who is the Cloud IT? Cloud IT is a full cycle cloud and managed IT services provider. And one of our differentiating point is we are talking to the business owners and business managers. We are talking business. We are not talking bits and bytes. We are not talking abbreviation and the cool technologies. That's the next step. First, we are talking to the business owners and managers, the business. How they see their organizations in 3 years from today. What their business goal? what they want to achieve. Then we go back home, do our work home, and came back with the solution and technology set of the solutions, a set of technologies that combine and will help them to achieve their goals. Then we, using our partners, and Dell and QNAP and E-Link and many others, supply the needed hardware and software, deploy it, install it, and then day-to-day maintain it and provide day-to-day support. So, as I said, we are full cycle cloud and managed services IT provider. And you see there is a empty space here. So Cloud IT is a group of companies. It's VI Professional Solution, it's CIT Corp, and we are on the process now to establish a third body that will deal especially and exclusively with the communication and collaboration, with the hybrid meetings, with the hybrid workspace, with the phone systems, with the digital signage, smart boards. That will be a third entity. I hope on our fall session, it will be a name here already. So once again, thank you for coming. You all got the ticket for lunch. It's our sponsor here in Improved Building, Fusion Eatery. And with the ticket to the lunch, you also get ticket to golf simulation. That's another our sponsor today that provides free for you for today. Session for golf simulation. So after lunch, you will go there. So that's the map. So we are here. So it's easy. Easy to remember. You're going downstairs, left, left, right. You are going downstairs, left, left, right. And you are getting here to the Fusion Eatery. After lunch, you are leaving Fusion Eatery, and it's very easy. Once again, left, left, right. Left, left, right. And you are getting to the golf simulators. And now we have a prize draw from our sponsor. So thank you very much for our sponsors today. Okay, I would like to invite Khalid and Anthony, because we have very nice stuff here today. So the one prize is from QNAP. It's a storage device, TS233 NAS. Okay, Khalid, please. You have to be present.
Number 5778003.
Woo! Congratulations.
Okay. 5778003. Is it blue one?
It's the blue ticket. The blue
They're all blue. They're all blue.
Okay.
So you're.
So. So.
Let's shake hands. I'm going to send it to you next week.
Next week? I don't like next week. I want now.
So anybody get a storage unit? It's similar to one of the boxes.
You see, we were just talking. Yeah. I was just talking to this gentleman that it's good to have it. He said, let's go to this guy. He said, he has it. I kind of knew that I'm going to win. So there is no way to.
Good. Good luck. Okay.
Okay.
So next one.
Next one from Dell. So you are used to work with two screens at home or in your office. When you are visiting your client and you need a second screen to your laptop,
Something like that.
here you go.
Actually, exactly the same.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, but there's no box. Not used.
Okay, Anthony.
Pull it.
Pull it.
Read the number. Read it? Yeah. Okay, 577-800. Who's still remaining? Stand up if you're still remaining. 57800. There's one more number. What number you got? One. Actually, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Well done, my friend. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you, guys.
One more from Dell. That's the docking station. And it's not just a docking station, it's a docking station with a wireless charger for.
It's nice that you listened to the presentation.
Where you get the box?
I'll take this now because he likes to torture people. Okay, 5778019.
Just check it.
Okay, perfect.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And the last one from Cloud IT, that's a very nice headset, which is actually wireless. So you connect your headset to your computer or to the IP phone, and with the headset itself, you can walk and talk around your office, around your home, around your building, 35-meter distance. 35 is worked perfectly, I checked it.
Yeah. Okay, so who's gonna... Annabelle, come. Run. Run. Somebody waiting for the prize.
Okay, 5778005.
Oh. Okay, congratulations. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. Thank you guys for coming. We are done. You are welcome to take a lunch.
And now it's hard to
play golf,
see anything.
and see this
Okay.
nice video.
Where's the hot lava now?
Well, hello there. Someone has stolen my phone.
Is it the one you're talking on right now?
Yep. I'm trying to download Wikipedia. It's taking forever.
You're trying to download all of Wikipedia?
No, just one article. Of course I'm trying to download all of it.
84 complaints, 32 questions, 9 rants, and 1 server fire. You know what I call that? Just another day in IT. Just another day with wonderful users. Just another day in IT. Babysitting all the network abusers.
Whenever I reply all.
I like to test the limits of our firewall.
My typewriter doesn't seem to work with Excel.
My Google searches are creepy as...
Hello. You guys know the internet is like slower than a gruesome death scene on Game of Thrones. Like this one time they took...
It's just another day in IT. Nothing will surprise us anymore.
I forgot my password and all of my hints.
Oh, I just fell in love with a Nigerian prince.
I still don't know how to double click. I gave my phone a bath cause it seemed kinda sick.
It was sick, it was sick, it was sick, it was just another day in IT. Just another day on the brink of disaster. Just another day in IT.
I brought my mom's computer. Can you make it faster?
And the internet. It's slower than Napoleon's retreat from Moscow. I was there.
Don't ever think that you've seen it all, cause there's always something worse at the end of the hall.
Here's a few changes to the website. I want to know where every company laptop is at this very moment. We're hiring 40 new employees and slashing your budget. I need you to swear blood oath that we'll never be hacked. Install Netflix on my Palm Pilot. And seriously, what's the deal with the internet? It's slower than my ex-husband's attorney.
It's just another day in IT. Your ill-informed wishes are our command. We're on the constant lookout for a cyber attack.
My mom thinks I work at Radio Shack.
It's just another day in IT. Just another day to practice restraint. It's just another day in IT. Here comes another Wi-Fi complaint.
Yeah, sorry. The internet's slower than Steve's metabolism.
Just another day in IT. Just another day in IT.
Sorry, did someone just say tea? I've just spilt tea all over my laptop, and on my phone, and all the phones, and the server.
We will get right on that.